Almost $1 billion a year. That's how much the government's been spending on contractors and consultants since 2018, despite its own moves to reduce its consultancy cash splash.
The National Party's accusing the minister in charge, Chris Hipkins, of failing to keep a lid on spending. Here's political reporter Imogen Wells.
There's a lot you can do with $1 billion. You could fund more than 14,500 registered nurses, more than 19,000 teachers, or buy around 74 million blocks of cheese. But instead, the government's spending $1 billion a year on contractors and consultants.
There can be good reasons why ministries and departments would spend money on contractors and consultants. If you look at big capital projects, for example, it is just the way that sector works.
Back in 2018, the cap on public servants was removed, the aim reducing the government's contractor and consultant spend. And since then, the number of public servants has grown, but the government's still spending just as much taxpayer money on contractors and consultants.
It's a failure on his part, and it's an addiction to spending by this government.
Would you say you've failed there?
No, not at all.
And there are some departments relying more and more on them. In the last 5 years, the Education Review Office has upped its spend by 154%, but wouldn't comment on why. The Ministry for Pacific Peoples has increased by 244%, pointing to its rapid growth and backfilling while recruiting. And the Ministry for Culture and Heritage has splashed out a whopping 700% more, citing its COVID response and building the business case for the country's new public media entity.
There is waste which needs to be brought under control so that every single dollar is spent wisely and efficiently.
We do need to look at that closely to make sure that it's all justified. There's a lot of scrutiny on that area now. That's a good thing.
Scrutiny welcomed, but the government's yet to make a dent in its $1 billion spend. Imogen Wells, Newshub.